Welcome back to Script Supervisors. This is episode 4 of the podcast where we talk about movies and TV shows and sometimes video games and weird Barbie trailers, which we're going to talk about today.
We just watched it. It's going to be great.
We did. So, there has been a lot of news since the last time around, and we will also we'll also talk about the movies and shows that came out in 2022, and we will talk about the movies and shows that will come out in 2023, as well as our opinions on what the best movie and show was that came out in 2022. But we can start with some announcements first. Jared Leto is starring in a new Tron movie.
They're making another Tron
called
movie?
Tron Ares.
I am excited. I'm a big fan of Tron. I saw the first one when I was a kid, and I saw the new one when I was also a kid. I listened to the soundtrack a lot because, oh man, Daft Punk knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the only thing I'm maybe not excited for, I guess we'll see. I mean, Jared Leto can be a good actor, but then he also gave us, like...
Morbius.
And Joker.
Yeah.
Poor Jared Leto.
I'd love to see him do something that's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Finally a good project for Jared Leto. Wednesday, that show on Netflix, was renewed for a season 2.
Yes, baby!
I haven't seen Wednesday yet.
It is very good. Not a lot of spoilers, but it's good. I find Wednesday very relatable. I think she's gay, but just doesn't know it yet. And I want her to date her roommate, but that's probably not going to happen because homophobia.
Yeah. So we for casting news, we have Emma Stone was cast in Edgar Wright's new film The Chain, which is about a kidnapping, I'm fairly certain, which should be interesting. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, movies about crimes like that can only be so great because, like, there's still, oh, that happened.
Yep. And then we have Michael B. Jordan cast in Chad Stahelski's interpretation of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, they're making a Siege movie?
They're making a Rainbow Six movie. Yeah. So Michael B. Jordan will be the star of Rainbow Six.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what character he's going to be playing? Is he going to be playing, like, Castle? Or...
I think he's whoever the main guy of Rainbow Six is.
There's a main guy of Rainbow Six?
I don't know. I've never played the game.
I'll be honest, I only know about the game.
My brother plays the game. I've never played the game or read the book, so I don't know. But I think he's going to be whoever the main character is. Yeah, and then we have William H. Macy is cast in the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're making another one of those.
I'll be honest, I've never seen a single Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah.
It's been one of those franchises that has been around and, like, it's... Nobody ever tells you to watch it, but it's just kind of one of those movies that, like, everybody has seen.
Yeah,
but no one
people
tells
have
you to
seen.
watch it, yeah.
The one thing I've interacted with about Planet of the Apes, Plague Inc., the mobile game, had a tie-in mode where you played as the simian flu.
Oh.
And so you got to control apes and have them spread across the globe and kill humans and stuff. It was really fun. I never beat it because it was really hard, but good times.
Nice. Yeah. And then Gal Gadot is returning as her character Gressel, I think is her name, in Fast X.
Oh.
It's crazy that there are 10 Fast and Furious movies.
I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie either.
Neither have I. I actually... Wait, I saw Hobbs and Shaw. That one I saw.
Right.
When that came out in theaters. It was Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, it was... I would put it on, the same level as, Godzilla vs. Kong. It's one of those movies that you don't have to think too hard about. Yeah, and you can just sit down and watch it and have fun with it. Kevin Hart makes a cameo in that movie, too. He's like a passenger on a plane.
I've been getting so many ads for Kevin Hart and a certain bank that he works for. I'm not going to mention it because they can pay us for that.
Yeah. I have also, but I've forgotten which exact bank he's supporting.
It starts with a C.
Oh, is it the blue one?
Yeah, it's the blue one.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. And
Love to see all that earning.
so it was also reported Mary Elizabeth Winstead is playing Harrison Dula in Ahsoka.
Oh.
Harrison Dula's from Rebels.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't seen Rebels, but I know the character, so.
yeah, Rebels is a fairly decent show. And
I mean, compared to
thought
the
it was.
Clone Wars, I'd say it's a step down, both animation and storytelling,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's all right.
yeah. And also, apparently, Hayden Christensen has filmed scenes as young Anakin Skywalker
All right.
for the Ahsoka show. So apparently, we're going to be seeing two different times of Ahsoka. We're going to get to see the Rosario Dawson version that was in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and then the Clone Wars era Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So
We're going to get young Ahsoka and old Ahsoka.
yeah, so that's what Hayden Christensen film scenes for as Anakin.
Good stuff.
Yep. And then next one I have here, Zosha Raquasmore is...
That's a name.
Yeah, was cast in Captain America New World Order. Now,
Ooh.
it hasn't been officially confirmed as to which character she's playing, but I have heard rumors that she has been playing, or she will be playing Diamondback.
Diamondback.
So, Diamondback is a character from the Marvel Comics who has, like, typically, like, looks like a snake.
Okay.
Because the Diamondback the snake. And
Yeah, that's.
I think this one has special throwing knives that she uses. Because Diamondback was in Luke Cage, but it wasn't the female Diamondback, which is supposedly going to be playing, or supposedly going to be this
So
actress.
they're officially like decanonizing the Marvel shows.
No,
then.
no. Because it's a different Diamondback.
So
'Cause,
there's two Diamondbacks.
yeah, the one in Luke Cage was Willis Stryker, which was Luke Cage's half brother, and this one is a female version of Diamondback, which she has a totally different name.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the same character in two different things. So
Two different
the
characters.
shows are no longer canon.
No, two different characters who happen to be using the same alias.
Oh.
Because Willis Stryker is dead.
Okay.
So this isn't like a female version of Willis Stryker. It is a different character from the Marvel Comics who has a
Also-
different name. I forgot her name.
But they both go by Diamondback.
They both go by Diamondback.
That's
yes.
gonna get really confusing.
Yes.
I'm already confused and I haven't even seen it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So apparently she will be in Captain America: New World Order, which makes me think that they might do the Serpent Society. But also maybe not, because Tim Blake Nelson is returning as the leader for that movie
Gotcha.
from the Hulk.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. Nikki M. James was cast in an unknown role in Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I found really interesting. Miles Gutierrez Riley, Patty LuPone, and Patty LuPone were cast in unknown roles in Agatha: Coven of Chaos. So that is a show based on Agatha Harkness from WandaVision.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And apparently,
Why does everything have to be so interconnected?
they're bringing back a lot of the Westview characters from WandaVision. So they're bringing back David Payton as John Collins or Herb. They're bringing back David Lengel as Harold Proctor, or as he was known in Westview, Phil Jones.
Those poor
Elise-
fuckers.
Yeah. Azaf Ali is back as Ablash Tandon, or he went by Norm in Westview. Amos Gallick played the delivery guy. His name was Dennis.
Gotcha.
And then Brian Brightman played Officer Miller. So in the first episode, when Monica Rambeau first shows up to Westview, she meets a couple of cops outside
Yeah.
that are from the Eastview Sheriff Department. But one of them is named Miller. So that cop from the first episode is coming back, apparently. As well as Kate Forbes as Evanora Harkness, who is Agatha Harkness's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who is Agatha Harkness's mom, and then Deborah Jo Rupp is back as Sharon Davis, Mrs. Hart. She was the really old lady from the first episode. Where,
Gotcha.
Yeah, she was the wife of the guy who was choking, and that's when you first noticed something was wrong. But yeah, so they're back for the Agatha Coven of Chaos show. A couple more things for. Oh, I guess I put this in a separate place. Um, Margarita Levina? Yeah, Margarita Levina and Sandry Holt are also in unknown roles in Daredevil Born Again. So I can't wait for that show to come out. It's filming this year.
Looking forward to it. I really like the original Daredevil show, so I
Yeah.
hope it's on the same level or better.
Yeah, me
because
too. Me too.
That would be nice.
It would, yeah. We have a whole bunch of people returning from for What If Season 2. Jeffrey Wright is returning as the Watcher.
Okay.
Haley Atwell returning as Captain Carter.
Good stuff.
Josh Keaton returning as Steve Rogers. Lake Bell returning as Natasha Romanoff. She was also in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. She was that scientist at the beginning.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the one that died in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz is coming back as Melina Vostokov from Black Widow. Alternate versions, of course.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen is voicing Scarlet Witch again.
Okay.
Yep, Wanda Maximoff. Mick Wingert is voicing alternate versions of Iron Man. Cynthia McWilliams is voicing that Thanos Gamora that was in the last episode of What If.
Right, yeah.
The one we got absolutely zero backstory on. Yeah.
Thank you, Disney. Very cool.
Taika Waititi is coming back to voice Korg. Jeff Goldblum is coming back to voice the Grandmaster.
All right.
And Kate Blanchett is coming back to voice Hela.
Hell yes.
Yep. So that should be interesting. The one episode I read about when they announced it at Comic-Con was like Wenwu fights Odin on Sakaar, which is where Tony Stark ends up and he defeats Thanos with Gamora, I guess.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of craziness.
I'm sure it'll make half a sense when it happens.
Probably. So that's
It's What If. That's the point.
Yeah,
It's to just
yeah.
have like wacky things happen.
Yeah. So What If is scheduled to release later this year, which I'm excited for. Okay, now trailers.
Woo.
We'll start with the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I enjoyed this Mandalorian trailer. I like that they're focusing more on the Mandalorians and Mandalore rather than like the kind of Grogu storyline. Like
Yeah.
we get a flashback to when Grogu is in the Jedi Temple during Order 66.
Because every piece of Star Wars media has to have an Order 66 scene. Every single one of them.
Yep. So I like that they're focusing more on the Mandalorian stuff, or at least that's what it seems from the trailer, rather than the Grogu stuff. Although I am interested to learn who saved Grogu, because someone took Grogu from the temple. We just don't know who it was.
Yep.
There are a bunch of people wanting it to be Mace Windu, which I'm like, no, please leave
Everyone
him
wants
dead.
Mace Windu
I
to
don't
come
want
back.
him to come back. Honestly, I think it's much better that he stays dead.
I remember when Episode 7 came out, everyone was saying that Snoke was Mace Windu. And that, like, he had gotten, like, disfigured by the Emperor's lightning and yada, 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 and blah, 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 and he's back and evil this time. It's like, no,
No,
that's not how things work.
he died when he got thrown out the window.
Yeah, I hope he's dead.
I hope he's dead
They
too.
need to stop, like, dragging dead characters, like, back from the dead.
He doesn't need to come back. They're fine without Mace Windu coming back. Some other people were saying maybe it was Jocasta Nu, the librarian from the Jedi Temple. Personally, I would like it if what's his name? Quinlan Voss came and saved Grogu, because Quinlan Voss was his name was name dropped in Kenobi.
Gotcha.
Yeah, on one of the walls that he was helping like Jedi refugees escape.
Do you want to know what I want?
What?
I want a new character.
Yeah, yeah, a new character would be nice. Yeah, if it's like some unknown Jedi that we've never heard before.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things I really liked about The Last Jedi when we found out who Rey's parents were, because they were nobodies. They weren't any character. They weren't even named.
Yeah.
They were just nobodies. So it's kind of this thing of like, not everybody has to be related to everybody in the Star Wars universe.
Except Rey is related to Palpatine somehow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Episode 9.
Apparently, Rey's father is a defective Palpatine clone.
Okay.
They say that in
Right.
Episode 9, but in Episode 8, it's just her parents are nobodies, junkers who abandon her. And for all intents and purposes, beyond the fact that her father's a Palpatine clone, he was just a nobody. He was a junker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got rid of him after
If he was a defective clone, then why didn't they just kill him? Why'd they let him free?
That's a good question that I don't know
Like,
the answer to.
you don't want... Because apparently, like, force powers are genetic somehow. Like, midichlorians or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck. You don't want, you know, some random person with really, like, high force sensitivity or whatever going around having children, because then you get hero characters like Rey that are going to fight your evil empire.
Yep.
Eh.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also in this trailer there was like a pale white protocol droid that caught my eye. They were like walking by it, and I was like, "Oh man, that's an albino C-3PO."
Well, there's actually the like PO series has like tons and tons of different
Yeah.
subtypes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those. It could be a painted 3PO.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah. Speaking of like droids, there were also like B1 battle droids in like the Separatist battle droids.
yeah, I
that
saw a
were
couple astromechs
in the
as
bar.
well. One
Yep.
thing I noticed, one thing I really liked, his ship is a N1 Naboo starfighter.
Yep.
That's been like modified or refurbished or something. Love to see that. It's a classic ship design.
Yeah. That I know you said you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
The one episode that Boba Fett's not in is the episode where he builds that ship.
Oh, wait, he builds it?
Sort of. Pelimoto, that lady with the frizzy hair, she has a broken N1 starfighter.
Okay.
So he like refurbishes it and fixes it up and everything.
I have got to catch up
Yeah.
on Star Wars.
Yeah. Pelimoto also has R5D4. That droid from A New Hope with the broken motivator. So he's back for Pelimoto, and then I think what happens is Pelimoto gives him to Mando, because you can see R5D4 with Mando in a couple of scenes.
That would be fun.
It's
Where does he fit in the ship
interesting.
though? Because the astromech port was like, it had like a dome on it for Grogu to be
Yeah,
in.
the way I saw it was there was an astromech panel or an astromech hole behind the Grogu hole.
Oh, okay.
Because at least that's where I saw it. Because I was thinking that too. That why is Grogu riding with Mando if Grogu has his own seat? But then
Yeah.
I realized, oh, it's probably so the astromech can see. Cause,
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think R5D4 is going to go with Mando, which is interesting because Mando doesn't trust droids.
That's true. Like,
He
seriously doesn't trust
seriously
droids.
doesn't trust droids. He had a hard time trusting IG-11.
Yeah.
The reprogrammed IG-11 from season 1, which now has a statue on Navarro, by the way. Like, there's a giant statue of IG-11, which I appreciate. But I also realized later in the trailer that Navarro gets attacked and that statue gets knocked down. Because
Fun.
there's a little pillar in the middle with, like, stormtrooper helmets ingrained in the rock, and IG-11 is standing on top of them posing with a gun. In the trailer, that statue gets knocked over. Or at least it's not there anymore. Because you can see the stormtrooper helmets, and there's just two metal rods sticking out where the statue would be. Where his legs would connect. So Navarro gets attacked at some point,
That
which
sucks.
is terrible for, like, Grief Karga, the guy who runs Navarro. Because he's played by Carl Weathers. But it looks like Navarro is doing pretty well for itself because it like when we saw it in season 1, it was like this smuggler town.
Yeah.
The town where like bounty hunters and people went to go and gamble. But it actually looks like a prosperous town now. Like things are actually going well. And I also noticed it. The X-wing pilot from the first 2 seasons is back. His name is Carson Teva. I watched a show over the last year called Kim's Convenience. It was about a Canadian convenience store. The guy who runs that store is the same guy who plays Carson Teva, and it's very hard for me to like
See him as anything but the convenience store owner.
see him as anything but the convenience store owner. And it makes me laugh.
He switched careers, dude.
Yep. But yeah, so Carson Teva's back, and the cloning scientist dude is also back.
Right.
And they also got those monkey lizards, like the one that like Jabba the Hutt had.
Yeah, Salacious
Yeah,
Crumb.
Salacious Crumb,
There's another one of those.
Yeah, monkey lizards.
Just briefly.
They ate one, didn't they? In like
Did they?
season 1, they had like one roasting on a spit.
They might have. I don't remember.
I remember an image of someone roasting a monkey lizard on a spit. I don't remember who it was.
I fully believe it.
But yeah, it was
Could have been the Tuscans?
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
Who knows? But yeah, so I'm excited for this new Mandalorian series. It looks like he's got a whole bunch of new Mandalorians with him from different like factions of.
There are also a bunch of... There was Bo-Katan and her
Bo-Katan.
people.
Yep.
And then there was the, like, heavy guy from the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, the guy played by Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the armorer.
Yeah.
So we've got some new, some familiar faces, sorry.
My
New guys, too.
my theory is that the Death Watch, the group that has the Jon Favreau Mandalorian and the Armorer, the Death Watch is going to fight the other faction of Mandalorians, which is like Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians that weren't the Death Watch
Could be.
over Mandalore, but who knows? So yeah, and also I noticed
I have
that
to watch the Clone Wars now because I know a lot of the
Yeah.
Mandalorian lore is from that.
yeah, it is.
Mandalorian lore. That's
They
a terrible
also
sentence.
included a Gauntlet Starfighter.
They did?
So the Gauntlet Starfighter was the one like it was like swooping through the canyon, and it was
Oh,
being chased
right.
by the TIE Interceptors. Yeah, that is the ship used by the Death Watch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was in the Mandalorian, or not the Mandalorian. That was in the Clone Wars.
Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it was in Rebels too. I don't remember, but yeah. So that was the ship used by the Mandalorian. But I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
It comes out on March 1st, I think. Yeah. Okay, so the next trailer we're going to talk about is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It got its new trailer.
Let's go.
I am so excited for this movie. I was wondering how they were going to do Blue Kang, and it's got like the nano suit armor.
And his face just looks kind of
Yeah.
like weird when it's on. I kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. We got our first look at MODOK. Did you see that?
I've seen people online like screaming about how MODOK is ugly, and I just have to say, MODOK has always been ugly.
Yeah, it's kind
That's
of the
his
point
thing,
of MODOK.
Is that
he's a giant
this,
floating head.
He's this hideous floating head with these tiny, stumpy little limbs, and I love it.
Yep.
I want hideous characters. I don't want to have to thirst over everyone.
Yep. Apparently, he is being played by Corey Stoll, who played Darren Cross, the Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man movie.
Oh.
So, if they're the same character, which I'm assuming that they are,
Well, yeah, he did get like shrunk down.
yeah, everybody thought he died, but he could just have been sent to the quantum realm and like been all tangled up, and then Kang found him,
Yeah,
cut off his entire body, did like a Darth Vader thing, just his head, put just his
but
head on a chair.
when he got like shrunk down, I remember that like, I think his limbs like went first.
Yep. Yeah. They did.
So that, oh my god, it could be him.
Yeah, because it was like a thing in every Phase 2 movie to like have someone lose an arm because it was a Star Wars reference.
It was?
Yeah, so every movie in Phase 2 of Marvel
Oh.
had someone lose an arm. So,
I didn't realize that.
yep. So, uh, his limbs did go first, which means when he ended up in the quantum realm, he was more than likely just a torso.
Yeah. Or like torso with smaller limbs.
Yeah, torso with smaller limbs. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kang pulled a Darth Vader and then made him into
Oh
MODOK.
my gosh. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. And like MODOK has this like gold-plated armor that goes around his head. Mm-hmm. Cause
Yeah, there was that one battle scene where
Yeah.
he had like a mask on.
yeah, because you see, there's two shots of him. There's one of him without the armor and one of him with the armor. And in the one with him without the armor, it's like that more classic, like he's got the giant headband and the
Yeah.
yellow chair. And then when he's fighting, you see that like his entire thing is enveloped in like gold armor.
Yeah.
And he's got like these 4 appendages that come out of him.
The 4 appendages could be the little like lasery things that the
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket suit had.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah,
Pattern
that
recognition.
would be interesting. Yeah, so I'm excited to see Kang because like he's supposedly the ruler of this city that they're in. It's called Axia.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's a city. And Bill Murray is playing Krylar, who is the mayor of Axia.
So there's like a king and a mayor?
I guess.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm just excited to see more Ant-Man. I've been completely in love with Ant-Man in a purely platonic sense since the first movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love Ant-Man. A lot of people don't like the second movie. I think the second movie is...
The second movie's great.
I think the second movie's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the first. But I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ant-Man and Paul Rudd, just such a funny character.
He's like if Deadpool was more child-friendly, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, basically.
he's sarcastic and smart talk, and I love it. I love
Yeah.
him.
I also love his relationship with his daughter.
Yes.
Like that is it's one of my favorite relationships.
He just
in the
loves his
MCU.
kid, and it's
He
great.
does love his kid.
Man.
Yeah. And I feel so bad because like every movie he's like worried about losing his kid, and then
Yeah.
he does lose his kid for 5 years, and he misses his kid growing up, which
Yep.
is what Kang is playing on in this movie. Because he's like, I can give you the one thing that nobody else can give you: time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So time with his daughter.
It looked like Cassie was wearing a suit,
Yeah.
so she's gonna be like
she's gonna
fighting
be
alongside
Stature.
him.
Stature.
Stature.
She becomes Stature.
Cool.
So she's gonna be fighting alongside Ant-Man and Wasp. Yeah.
Good
'cause-
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she gets the suit, but she does get a suit somehow.
Probably from the what's his name, Van Dyne guy,
Oh, Hank Pym?
Hank Pym. Yeah. God.
Well, I would assume so, except it looks like they get sucked into the quantum realm before she has a suit.
Huh. Okay.
So
I
I
guess
don't
she
know
could
if she
just
gets the
like
suit
get
in the
it when
quantum
she's
realm.
down there.
Where would she get it from, though?
I don't know. Alternate universe.
Maybe. There's also like a whole bunch of people saying that like the design of Axia, because Axia has like a bunch of giant like revolving circles around it.
Yeah.
So a whole bunch of people are saying that those circles look a lot like the Ten Rings from Shang-Chi,
Okay.
and a lot like Aisha's bangle from Miss Marvel.
The one thing I sort of thought they looked like was in Thor: The Dark World, the Convergence. When all the different like portals are opening up,
Oh, yeah.
it looks kind of like that to me. So they could be drawing on like similar sort of design philosophies.
Yeah, because a lot of people were wondering whether or not it was connected to the Ten Rings and the bangle, because the bangle was found in a Ten Rings temple.
Mm-hmm.
So if that technology is the same, then something else is happening, because if you remember at the end of Shang-Chi,
I haven't seen Shang-Chi.
oh, you should. It's really good.
I've heard it's good.
It's
but
so good.
Oh, I haven't gotten around to watching like any Marvel stuff in a while.
Yeah, it's really good. I really recommend it. But at the end, the Ten Rings like Wong says that the Ten Rings are sending some sort of signal out into like the cosmos, and he's like, it's something very ancient, like
The
Bruce-
secret
yeah.
11th ring.
Yep, and like Bruce Banner is like, it's not anything we've seen before. It's not vibranium. It's not Chitauri tech. It's not, and like Captain Marvel's like, yeah, I don't recognize that technology either. So, it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with that, especially if it's connected to the Bengal, because in the Miss Marvel show, you can see the Ten Rings logo on the floor of the temple where they find the Bengal. It's also attached to this blue arm, which I'm like when I see a blue arm, I immediately think it's the Kree.
Yeah.
So it would be really interesting if it was like Kree tech or no, I guess it wouldn't be Kree tech because Captain Marvel would have recognized it if it was Kree tech because she grew up on
Yeah.
Hala. So I don't know.
There's still the fact that the Kree are the most confusing thing in the entirety of Marvel because it feels like everything they're in like reinvents them and like their culture and stuff.
I don't think so.
you
Everybody
seen
just
Agent-
hates the. I have seen Agents of Shield.
Okay,
I love
yeah.
Agents of Shield.
The Kree are like 3 different things in it, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's like different factions of the Kree, but the one thing that everybody seems to agree on is that the Kree only look out for the Kree,
Yeah.
and the Kree are only out for themselves because everybody seems to hate the Kree. Shield
And the Kree
hates the
hates
Kree.
everyone.
Yeah. The Shield hates the Kree. The Nova Corps hate the Kree. The Avengers hate the Kree. Captain Marvel hates the Kree.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to hate the Kree, which I can like get behind because all the Kree are rude. I don't think I've met a nice
They
Kree.
just kind of suck.
They
Like,
just kind of suck, yeah. As like people.
I don't want to like condemn an entire race because that feels like kind of bad, but we don't have any good examples of them.
It's racist.
It's kinda, I guess.
I mean,
They're an alien boogeyman used in a movie series. It doesn't
Yep.
matter.
I also find it funny that there are like 2 different types of Kree. There's the blue Kree, and then there's what they call pink Kree.
Yeah.
Pink Kree are Kree that don't look blue.
Yeah, that's just like white people.
Yeah.
Like the mentor guy in,
Yep.
in Captain Marvel.
Yep. Yanrog.
Yeah,
They are also black, I guess, because
Right.
was Korath, the Pursuer, is
Yeah,
also
the,
Kree.
the machine-headed freak.
Yep.
It's the only way I can remember him.
Machine-headed freak.
It's the way that fucking
Drax.
Peter Quill
Or-
describes
yeah,
him.
yeah. You Ninja Turtle, you better stop poking me.
God, that line is so good.
Yeah, I can't wait for Guardians 3.
Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out February 17th.
Right.
So that will probably be what our February episode will be on.
Yeah, that's getting up.
yeah,
That's getting soon.
Our next trailer is Oppenheimer, which is based on J. Robert Oppenheimer, who is the man responsible for the atomic bomb.
Big man.
Big man, the Manhattan Project. I'm actually kind of interested to see this because part of the Manhattan Project involved testing things like in a city here in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hanford site
Yep.
helped refine uranium and plutonium.
Yep.
Couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, but I'm actually excited to see this movie. Christopher Nolan is directing it. He of course did the Dark Knight series.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and he's known for his practical effects, and there have been a bunch of memes about his practical nuclear explosion.
yep.
Which I'm really looking forward to seeing because that's got to be good.
Yep. So I cannot wait to see this. And the acting looks great. The cast looks great. It just looks really good.
They've got the guy from Peaky Blinders.
Yep, they got the guy from Peaky Blinders. And apparently this movie is also dropping on the same day as another movie which we also watched the trailer for.
I may have forced Jaden to watch the Barbie trailer.
I have always hated Barbie. I do not think that the franchise has any substance whatsoever, and it gives young girls an unrealistic idea of what women should look like.
Okay, yes. Bad beauty standards, there's no real substance, but have you seen the Barbie movies?
No.
Okay. They're
And
pretty good.
I never will watch the Barbie movies.
I had an older sister, and my parents didn't, like, discourage me from feminine stuff. And so when she wanted to watch the Barbie movies, I would watch the Barbie movies. So I watched a lot of Barbie movies. They're good.
I don't think I could ever watch a Barbie movie. I hate Barbie with a passion. It's just...
They are coming out on the same day. The Oppenheimer Barbie double feature. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna watch them both.
Yeah, and like Simu Liu is in this movie. He played Shang-Chi. Why?
Because he can.
But why?
Okay, when the actors are like, when actors get like famous and like serious roles, I feel like getting to do stupid stuff is like really fun for them. Like the guy who plays Benoit Blanc in Glass Onion and Knives Out.
Yeah.
Right? He did, you know, 007 for how many years? And he was always really serious, and he was a secret agent guy, and now he's this bumbling, funny gay detective guy, and knocking it out of the park.
I do agree with. Daniel Craig is...
That's his name.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names and words. Oh my god.
Daniel Craig has so much range if he can play a British spy and a Southern detective.
Yes.
In the same year, because I think there was a James Bond movie that came out the same year as Knives Out.
I think so.
It was 2018, so it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so man, he just has great range, and a couple of actors like that have good range. Another one would be, what's his name? The guy from National Treasure. I almost said Luke Cage. Not Luke Cage, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, I think, has a lot of range as well.
If it makes you feel any better, I was thinking Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. The guy from Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
They teased him for a Mortal Kombat sequel at the end of Mortal Kombat.
Gosh.
I hated that movie. Oh my gosh. That movie was so terrible.
They keep trying to make stuff from Mortal Kombat when, like, all people want is fighting games.
Yeah, it was so bad. I did not like that movie at all. But yeah, so I guess Oppenheimer and Barbie are coming out on the same day. Do you remember the release date for that? For Barbie and Oppenheimer?
No.
No. Well, they're coming out on the same day. You can look it up if you want to know the release date. But, oh my gosh, I will not be seeing Barbie. I will be seeing Oppenheimer.
I'll be seeing both.
I might even see Oppenheimer twice just to spite Barbie.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is the end of the trailers that we're talking about. Now we just have some like miscellaneous news. You might have heard about this. A couple of days ago, Jeremy Renner was hospitalized.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was driving in the snow, and he tried to help someone else who was stuck in the snow, and he got hit by a snowplow.
Right.
So
I remember seeing an Instagram post about it.
Yeah, he broke like 37 bones.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
But like everything I've been seeing has been like how Jeremy Renner is like this such a nice person.
Okay. I'm not saying that what he did wasn't nice, but didn't he also like assault his wife?
Did he?
Yeah. Hang
Maybe.
on. Let me pull that up. You can keep talking about Jeremy.
Yeah, but so yeah, Jeremy Renner was hospitalized, and there was just this like outgoing of support on social media for him, which I thought was like it was pretty. And obviously, Jeremy Renner played Hawkeye in the Marvel series. I think.
Yeah.
That's what he was most known for. He also is in this new show called Mayor of Kingstown, which I've seen a lot of ads for. I actually kind of want to see. But yeah, so I, I prayers go out to him and his family, who are going through him getting hit by a snowplow. Cause like, ow, I wouldn't want to get hit by a snowplow. Did you find anything?
Yeah, apparently his wife claimed that he shoved a gun in his mouth and threatened to kill her, but he says that she's a liar. So, I don't know. There's no
Yeah.
consensus.
Yeah, well, we hope Jeremy Renner gets better.
Yeah.
Cause like, I mean, he got hit by a snowplow while trying to help someone else out of the snow. Like,
Yeah, like,
he didn't. He didn't deserve
it
that.
doesn't matter what someone's done. If they've
Yeah.
been hit by a snowplow while trying to help someone else, I want them to get better.
Yeah, I want him to get better too, and I think he's taking a break from acting. I think he said.
That's fair.
Because he doesn't even know if he's going to be able to walk anymore.
Oh, God.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, so prayers go out to the Renner family and everything else that's going on. Okay, next piece of news. Alec Baldwin was charged with involuntary manslaughter for that thing with the prop gun.
Right. Oh, God, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
so he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Alec Baldwin, because like it was not intentional that he killed that woman.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it's
I don't even know the full story. Didn't he, okay, he, like, accidentally shot someone?
he accidentally shot someone, but there was something wrong with the prop gun, so the cap shot shrapnel out and it killed a camera woman.
Oof.
Yeah, so he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter, which is unfortunate.
I don't think he should be charged with jack shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mans did not sign up for that.
Yep.
It's not even like, okay, when you're driving a car, right, there's a risk in that. If you hit someone, even by accident, there is still risk. You should have been paying more attention, right?
Yep.
But a prop gun malfunctioning,
Yeah.
that is not your fault in any way.
Yeah.
That is the fault of the people who made the gun.
The prop master, yeah. Yeah. And like it's unfortunate that it has come to this and he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter because I think he goes to jail for 6 months, if I remember correctly.
I mean, okay, it could be a lot
Yeah.
worse.
It could be a lot worse. He could be charged with criminally negligent homicide, which would put him away for years. But
Yeah.
involuntary manslaughter, I think, it's unfortunately it's the best case scenario. I think
At least it's only 6 months.
at least it's only 6 months. So
I feel like the mental trauma of having accidentally shot someone is like more to deal with than 6 months of jail time.
yeah, because there's like this photo of him like holding the gun. He's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the people listening can't see what I'm doing, but he's got like
Got
his
his
hands
arms
on his
up
head.
on his head. Yeah.
He's got his arms up on his head and he's holding the gun. He's like, "What have I just done?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Poor Alec Baldwin. Unfortunate for him.
We need better prop guns.
Yeah. Not unfortunate though, for Ezra Miller, who was charged with unlawful trespass after
What
the burglary incident.
What hasn't Ezra Miller been charged with at this point? Didn't they start a cult like in some Nordic country?
Yeah, that was a
And
story I heard about.
have
yeah.
like assaulted people in Hawaii. Like they've been everywhere and they're doing everything and they haven't been nixed from the DCEU.
Yep.
Why? Like they've been getting rid of so many people from DC,
Well,
but
actually,
not Ezra Miller.
I will talk about this later, but he actually is gone now,
Oh,
according to my sources.
never mind. I have
Yeah.
outdated information.
According to my sources, Ezra Miller's out. After this Flash movie that's releasing, he's done.
That's
Apparently.
good.
Yeah, I know. I think that's good too.
Yep.
They released a limited edition 4K Cloverfield steelbook. So if you're a fan of Cloverfield movies,
I'm a fan of Cloverfield movies.
then they're releasing a limited edition steelbook, which you can
Steel book? What is
Steelbook?
that?
Oh, it's like it's a physical copy, but it's like the case is like steel,
Huh.
and it's got like it's like a you can put your hands on it. You can feel like different designs. It's a bit hard to explain.
So it's got like imprints on it.
Yeah, imprints.
Okay.
Imprints. Yeah.
That's neat. I'll actually
Yeah.
look into that because I actually really like the Cloverfield series.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of the Cloverfield series, go pick up the Cloverfield Steelbook, which is probably available on Amazon or Walmart or Target or your local pirating site. No, that's not true, because it's a physical copy. I guess your local drug dealer might have it.
What?
No, that's not right. Don't ask your drug dealer for a book copy of Cloverfield. 'Cause that's not gonna
Ask
go
your
well.
drug dealer to watch Cloverfield with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn a drug dealer into a drug friend. Don't do drugs, please.
Don't do drugs. This is a disclaimer.
But watch Cloverfield.
Don't demonetize us.
Watch Cloverfield. It's good.
Yeah. Warner Brothers is selling their music library.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know who they're selling it to or who's interested in buying it. I just know that they're selling their music library, which is interesting. Lisa Marie Page passed away, she was an actress. For some reason, all of her projects are slipping my mind of what she was in. But she passed away, which was unfortunate. Mindy Kaling, who voices Disgust in Inside Out,
Oh, fun.
is not returning for Inside Out 2.
No. What happened?
I don't know, but she's just not returning. She said she's not returning. So they're either going to have to find someone else to voice Disgust or get rid of Disgust, which I don't know that they will.
I mean, if they're like updating the character designs because like Riley has like grown up a little
Right.
bit or whatever, then
You could
changing the
potentially-
voices could work.
Yeah, you could potentially get a different voice, which
I mean, kids probably aren't going to notice. That's the thing.
yeah.
I remember, oh my God, okay, I feel terrible about this. I remember when the second Iron Man came out, I didn't realize that they had changed Rhodey's actor. And looking back, I feel horrible about it, but I was like a very much child, and I absolutely love Don Cheadle,
Yeah.
but yeah, kids are dumb, man.
Yep, they swapped Terrence Howard for Don Cheadle.
They did.
I guess no one noticed. That was actually something that, because Ike Perlmutter, the guy who was the racist, sexist guy who was running Marvel at the time, when Terrence Howard was fired, he's like, replace him with Don Cheadle. They're both black. No one's gonna notice.
Yeah, and like kids aren't gonna notice, but
Yeah.
I notice now.
Yeah. So do I.
And it's like, why did you get rid of Terrence Howard? I love Don Cheadle. He's great.
Terrence Howard wanted more money than Marvel could offer them because
Terrence Howard.
Marvel was broke at the time.
Yeah.
So Terrence Howard wouldn't do it for anything less than what Marvel wanted to pay them, so they recasted him with Don Cheadle. At least as far as I understand it.
Yeah, I think that's the story.
Yeah. Apparently, Edward Norton's 12th great-grandmother is Pocahontas.
I like that the light in the
Yeah.
recording booth turned on when you said that. Who's Edward Norton again?
He was in this latest Knives Out movie. He was in The Italian Job. He was Bruce Banner in the first Hulk movie. He was in Fight Club. He was in a whole bunch of things. Edward Norton. Yeah.
The narrator from Fight Club.
Yes.
Miles Braun. Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Yep.
12th great-grandmother
Is Pocahontas.
is Pocahontas.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
He sat down and he
I
talked
thought
to the
Pocahontas
reporter
wasn't
about it.
real.
No, Pocahontas was real.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was interesting to find out.
Damn.
Yeah. And lastly, for miscellaneous news, we have some Avatar news. Avatar is officially the 5th highest grossing movie of all time. It beat Avengers Infinity War this morning.
And yet,
Yep.
I have experienced no cultural impact so far. Like, I don't hear.
I think it's pretty good.
None of my friends talk about it. I don't hear anyone online gushing about it. Like, I see the occasional meme about one of the characters, There's some guy. He's in like military fatigues and he's got like sunglasses. Everyone makes fun of him.
Yeah.
But that's as far as it goes. I don't think it's gonna last the next 6 months. And that's the thing with the Avatar movies is that they look great. They have interesting stories. They make tons and tons of money. Practically no cultural impact.
That is fair, I will say. I really enjoyed Avatar 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than the first Avatar, and I think it has a really good message about family. I really enjoyed it. I think you're right that it might not have as big a cultural impact as, like, not even the first one did. But I still think it's a really good movie, and I would recommend it to anyone who asked. But yeah,
Doesn't James Cameron, he's the guy he's the director, right?
yeah,
Okay. Hasn't he like planned out the next like 6 movies for it?
he's planned up until Avatar 5.
Okay.
So then that actually is what another piece of news I had here is. It was announced that Avatar 3 will focus on the fire Na'vi. They're called Ash people. So we've got the forest Na'vi, the water Na'vi, and now the fire Na'vi.
When are we gonna get the air Na'vi? When are we gonna have the 4 nations of the Na'vi? Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. But then everything changed when the humans arrived. Oh my god. And then there's gonna be like one Na'vi who can do all of the shit. They're gonna call him the Avatar.
It just turns into the Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar, the last blue person. I don't know.
Blue person. It's funny. But yeah, they plan until Avatar 5. So so the third one's gonna focus on the fire Na'vi.
Yeah.
The Ash people. But since the box office for this hit over $2 billion.
Jesus.
James Cameron is the first director to have 3 films that make more than $2 billion.
Zoe Saldana, isn't she in like 4 incredibly high-grossing movies?
Avatar, Avatar 2, Avengers Endgame, and Avengers Infinity War.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
I don't know that's...
Did it not do that well?
Well, it did well. I'm just not sure if it was in the highest grossing movies.
I could believe that.
Highest grossing movies of all time. Yeah, because James Cameron directed Avatar, Titanic, and Avatar 2. So...
Yeah, I don't see it. Damn. Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy is Control F. Guardians of the
Volume 2 is number 82.
111
Okay.
is the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
And Volume 2 is number 82.
Yeah, Volume 2 is number 82. But yeah, so James Cameron.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, Zoe Saldana was in Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Avengers: Infinity War. So she's been in 4 of the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time, and James Cameron has directed 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time.
That's a resume right there.
Yeah. Like I actually don't think James Cameron has made a bad film. I can't think of one.
I can't think of like anything he's made other than Avatar.
But yeah, so some Marvel news. Agatha Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, Armor Wars, Deadpool 3, and Thunderbolts are all filming this year.
What's Armor Wars about?
Armor Wars is a roadie movie. It was originally going to be a show, but then they changed it to a movie. And it is about what happens when Tony Stark's worst fear comes true and bad people get a hold of his armor.
Gotcha.
So Rhodey's going to be dealing with that. Ironheart's going to be in the series.
Who's Ironheart?
She was Riri Williams from Black Panther.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
so she's going to be in that series.
Is Harley going to be in it?
I don't think so.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Out of all
I
of
know,
the
I wanna
characters
see
that
Harley
Disney
Quinn come
brings
back.
back, give me Harley!
They're bringing back
Ah!
they're bringing back Walton Goggins as Sonny Birch, who is
Okay.
the business guy from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And supposedly, according to rumors, they're bringing back Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer, which I can't wait
Fun.
for. Yeah.
Justin Hammer out of prison.
Justin Hammer is such a good character. Oh, I loved him in Iron Man 2. He's maybe my favorite part
You
of
know
that
who
movie.
I loved in Iron Man 2?
Who?
Ivan Vanko, Whiplash.
Really?
Why'd they have to kill him, man?
I did not like Ivan Vanko that much.
You
I thought
didn't like him?
I thought Mickey Rourke did a good job with what he was given. I just didn't think the character had that much substance to him.
I mean,
I
yeah, he
want
wasn't.
my board.
He wasn't that substantive, but I don't know. I guess I liked an Eastern European villain who wasn't like some big bad crime overlord. I liked this like dirty nerd who built his
Yeah.
own like Iron Man-ish shit.
Yeah,
I thought he was really cool and also a bit of a badass.
that's fair, I guess. I didn't like him that much. I much more preferred Justin Hammer. Because Sam Rockwell
Hammer
is such
really
a-
blew it away.
He really did. And if he's coming back, I can't wait for him to be back in Armor Wars. But yeah, so Rhodey's appearance in Secret Invasion will kick off Armor Wars.
Gotcha.
So because he's going to be in the Secret Invasion show that's releasing in spring. So I can't wait for that. That's
Why
going to
can't
be
they give us Harley?
that's going to be awesome. Nate Moore also said that Eros, Star Fox, Henry Styles' character, Harry Styles' character from Eternals, is Thanos' half brother.
What?
They said that in the movie that he was the brother of Thanos, but here it says that he's Thanos' half brother. And Chloe Zhao has said that he's one of the 10 Eternals that was placed on Titan. So what I'm assuming is Eros was placed on Titan. He was adopted by Thanos' father or by Thanos' parents, which made him Thanos' half-brother. But
That's
'cause-
adopted brother then.
yeah, but all the Eternals are synthetic. So he can't be a
Nothing makes sense anymore.
he can't be biologically related to Thanos because
Yeah.
Eros is synthetic.
Unless he's partially made of his parents' DNA or something.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Can't
is
believe Harry Styles is in the MCU.
He'll be back in Eternals too.
Fun. Haven't seen Eternals.
It's all right. I mean, you can watch it if you have time, but I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it.
Gotcha.
I also don't really think it's that important to the bigger plot, at least that I can see right now.
So I should
So
watch Shang-Chi first.
Shang-Chi, yes.
Shang-Chi.
Watch Shang-Chi first before you watch Eternals.
Can do.
But yeah, so that is the end of the Marvel news and a couple of DC news. Harley Quinn won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Animated Series.
Okay.
I haven't seen the Harley Quinn show, but I've heard it's really good.
I've heard it's good too.
The Penguin series, which releases in 2023,
Is that animated or live action?
It's live action. It's based on the
Ooh.
Penguin from the Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The Robert Pattinson one.
the Robert Pattinson Batman. Yeah. So that will tie into the Batman 2. The Batman 2.
Bring the Riddler back, please.
Yep. They can because he's in Arkham right now.
He's in Arkham.
Yeah.
He's next to the Joker or Two-Face or who was that? I don't
The
remember.
Joker.
Okay, Joker.
Funnily enough, the guy who plays the Joker in that movie also played Druig in Eternals.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the end of the DC news. Now, we'll get into the main portion of the show, which is the 2023 review, 2023
Main portion
preview.
of the show, an hour in.
An hour in. There was a lot of news.
Well, it has been like
Yeah.
2 months.
So why don't we start out with our bests and worsts of 2022? Okay, so do you want me to go first, or do you want to
Sure,
go first?
go
Okay,
ahead.
so I'll go first. I thought the best film of 2022 was Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery.
Okay.
I love that movie, and I don't think it's as good as the first Knives Out, but it is still a great sequel. And the entire time I was like noticing little details and other stuff. Oh, it was really good, and it's got like an all-star cast. I mean, you got Daniel Craig, you've got Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Catherine Hahn, Jessica Henwick. Who else is in this movie? There are a couple of other big names in this movie which I can't remember. But oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh, I loved it. So I thought that was the best film. The best in TV I have awarded to Manifest season 4, and I know you tried to watch Manifest and you couldn't get
have
through
opinions on Manifest. I don't need to voice them.
I thought it was so good.
All right.
Oh man, I love that show, and I cannot wait for part 2 of season 4 to come out, because part 1 of season 4 was so amazing, and I cannot wait to see the end of the series, because this is the last season. So I think it will be released in August 28th, because the flight number on the plane that disappears is 828.
Mm-hmm.
So 28th of August, 828. Gotcha. So that means I'm going to have to wait a while for it. But I think it's going to be good. The worst in film I have awarded to The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. That was a movie that released straight to Disney Plus.
I haven't even heard of it, so it can't be good.
It's so bad. I loved the Ice Age movies.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the Ice Age movies as a kid, and I still love the first 2 Ice Age movies. I haven't seen the 3rd, 4th, or 5th one in a while.
I can't believe they made 5 of them.
6, including this
6. How? I don't understand. It's DreamWorks, right?
DreamWorks, yeah.
Why?
Blue Sky Studios. But it was just so bad. I hated this movie. It's not even an hour and a half long, and I hate this movie. And it is missing the one thing that at least all the other Ice Age movies had that made me laugh. Scrat is not in this movie.
He's not?
And that is the equivalent of a war crime. Because
he's the main character.
Scrat is such a funny character, and he's not in this movie at all, and it irks me. I watched this movie when it came out, because like, I love the first and second Ice Age movies. I think they're really good. This is garbage. It's a complete dumpster fire.
Mean.
Maybe mean, but oh my gosh, it is terrible. Worst in TV I have awarded to Blockbuster Season 1. That was the comedy show on Netflix that for some reason I got really excited for. And when I watched it, I was just kind of like, this is funny at some points, but not funny enough.
And it's about Blockbuster, the like movie
the
rental
video
place.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny because like Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, did a show about Blockbuster, and then it was terrible, and they canceled it, right?
Yeah. So it was the ultimate power move by Netflix. But the more and more I let this show sink in, the more and more I started to dislike it. And Randall Park is in this. Melissa Fumero is in this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think they did a good job with what they were given. The entire cast did a good job with what they were given. But the jokes are corny. Most of the jokes don't land. And the few jokes that do, there's only maybe one an episode.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So I do not like it. But, oh well. All right. What is your best and worst?
My best and worst. Okay. So I also really liked Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. I also saw Bullet Train.
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting really hyped for the previews for it, and then I saw it with my dad, and then I saw it with my boyfriend, and it's very good. Yeah, my boyfriend has seen it like 10 times or something because he's just obsessed with Lemon. Um, and I get it, dude. Lemon's a great character. And then I also saw The Menu with him. I might have mentioned this on one of the previous episodes, but The Menu is a comedy horror masterpiece. It is beautifully done. All of the acting performances are utterly stellar, and I have no problems with any of it. Everyone just knocks it out of the park, and as I tell everyone, the burger scene is the best. Love it. And then for shows, I'd probably have to give it to Andor, just
Andor?
because
Yeah.
Andor's really great. I haven't finished it yet. I'm sorry, I'm behind on everything. But yeah, as far as I've seen, it's knocking it out of the park, and everyone is praising it for everything. And it deserves it, because it's amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Andor is, I think, the best Star Wars project of the last 5 years. I think it's better than The Mandalorian. I think it's better than The Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's better than Kenobi. And
Yeah.
it's such a good show. I would be wary of saying I want all Star Wars projects to be like this, because I don't think all Star Wars projects need to be like this. But I think if we had more Star Wars projects along this same thematic kind of line, it would go over really well with audiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed Andor.
Speaking of Star Wars projects, and Disney in general, really, I can't really say they're my least favorite because I didn't finish them, but Kenobi and the Hawkeye show, I started watching them with my dad, and we both just got bored. And it was like, why are we watching this? It's not fun. We're just not having a good time. And so we switched to something else. I think we watched Firefly. If you haven't seen Firefly, watch it. Anyway.
Is it the show with Nathan Fillion?
Who's Nathan Fillion?
He played Richard Castle in the Castle series. He played, who else did he play? Why are all of Nathan Fillion's roles escaping my mind?
Did he play a character in the Halo series?
I think so.
Okay, then probably. Is he the captain in Firefly? Malcolm?
I've never seen Firefly.
Okay. Probably. I'm thinking of Malcolm. Yeah, he's in the Halo series. Actually has a lot of lore behind him for some reason. But yeah, Firefly's good. Not the point. Anyway, bad shows, not Firefly. Kenobi, because it's really easy to dunk on, and Hawkeye, because I personally just didn't really like it.
I think Hawkeye came out in 2021, didn't it?
It
Christmas? Did? Yeah, December.
Oh.
Because it's a Christmas show.
Silly old me.
No, it's all right. But yeah, I thought Kenobi was fine for what it was. I thought Ewan McGregor did a good job. I thought, what's-his-face that played Owen Lars did a good job. I thought the kid actor who played young Leia did a good job, and I thought Hayden Christensen, James Earl Jones, and Liam Neeson did a good job. Because Liam Neeson came back at the end, and I was waiting for him to come back, because I was like, please, Liam Neeson, come back. But, yeah, I did enjoy James Earl Jones voicing Darth Vader again. He has retired from acting, so he will no longer be voicing Darth Vader, but he has signed a contract with Lucasfilm for them to use his voice as Darth Vader, like artificially recreate his voice as Darth Vader.
Okay.
Because they have enough of his audio now that they can do that.
Yeah, they could probably do that.
Yeah. So I think I'm fine with that, because it's not like James Earl Jones is the face that you recognize, it's the voice. So I think recreating the voice is fine. And James Earl Jones seems to be fine with it too.
If you see clips of Star Wars before they dubbed James Earl voices over Darth Vader, it's really funny because he has a totally different demeanor. He's much closer to Darth Helmet from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Because he has kind of a higher voice, and he's like talking like this, and it's like, bring me the rebel princess, and it's like, who are you? What did you do with Darth Vader?
It's funny.
I happened to see a video about that a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolute legend. It's good that he's retiring, and it's also good that we're still gonna sort of get his voice through like computer generation.
Yeah.
But like at that point, who are they paying for it?
Still James Earl Jones, I think.
Oh, so it's not just like a one-time deal?
No. I think like he gets paid every time they use his voice for something.
Well,
Yeah, but
he's gonna be rolling in it.
yeah. So those were your best and worst of 2022. So taking a look back at stuff that came out in 2022, there were a lot of interesting things. The Menu obviously came out, which you saw.
It's
you thought
so
was
good.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which
Also so good.
I thought that one was really good.
Oh my
too.
god, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That would have been in my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Legendary movie. Also saw it with my boyfriend.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Haven't seen it.
I
Heard
haven't
it's
seen
good.
it either. Don't Worry, Darling.
Haven't really heard anything about it.
It is a weird plot that I don't know that I can accurately explain. I think if you want to know what the plot is, you have to watch the movie.
Gotcha.
Because it's too complicated, I think, for me to explain. But I thought it was pretty good. I saw it. I thought it was pretty good. Glass Onion and Isa Mystery, which I thought was
Yes.
a great sequel. Jurassic World Dominion came out this year.
It did?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to it.
It is very mid. It is not the conclusion I would have wanted to the Jurassic World series, but it is
Yeah.
also not a terrible movie. But yeah, so also the 335. It's about this group of 5 female spies who
Okay.
fight against Sebastian Stan. And I thought it was okay for what it was, but it has the most generic plot I have ever seen. It's okay. The plot is there's a device that can control all technology. Everybody is grabbing for it.
Okay.
That's the plot. It's so generic.
I mean, generic doesn't necessarily mean bad.
It doesn't. I thought because Jessica Chastain is in this movie too. So is Lupita Nyong'o. I thought this movie was a fun movie that you can sit down and watch. It is not a movie that you want to pay too much attention to, because if you pay too much attention to it, you're gonna find it boring.
Gotcha.
But if you just have it on because you want to relax and you want to unwind and watch a movie, I think this is a perfect movie to do that with. Ambulance came out. It's Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
Steals an ambulance. That one was all right. I saw it on a plane, so that was interesting. Me Time. Mark Wahlberg and Kevin Hart.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. It's funny, but it's funny, but it's not that great of a story.
Yeah.
They run over a turtle at one point.
Oh.
Kevin Hart fights a mountain lion with his pants down.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Top Gun Maverick came out. Everybody seemed to love that movie. I loved
haven't
that
seen
movie.
it.
I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Is it good?
Yes, I thought it was really good. Probably one of the best sequels that I've seen. So I'd say it's probably on the same level as like Glass Onion or Winter Soldier as far as sequels go. So yeah. Also the Lord of the Rings of Power came out this year. Series on Amazon. I haven't seen that one yet. I still need to see it.
I've seen a couple of the episodes. It seemed pretty good.
Yeah. Manifest season 4 came out. I know you have problems with Manifest, but I really enjoyed it. Death on the Nile, which was a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
Gal Gadot's in that movie.
I saw Murder
Yeah.
on the Orient Express. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I haven't seen Death on the Nile. People thought it was good, apparently.
It looked really interesting in
Yeah.
previews, but I haven't heard much.
Yeah. Where the Crawdads Sing came out, that one was a bad movie. I saw it and I was like, this is just not it.
I don't understand the name.
Where the Crawdads Sing. The name refers to the swamp that she lives near. The crawdads make a lot of noise, and
Okay.
they point that out in the series.
I thought crawdads were crayfish.
They are.
I didn't know that they made noise.
They do make noise. It's like a
Huh.
little clicking sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she says the line in the movie, "I live where the crawdads sing."
Roll credits.
Yep, where the crawdads sing. Uncharted came out. Mark Wahlberg, Antonio Banderas, Tom Holland.
Yep.
Yep. That one was. I actually thought it was pretty good for a video game movie. Because video game movies don't usually tend to be that good, but I thought
they tend to really suck.
Yeah, I thought Uncharted was actually pretty good.
Like the Halo show.
Yeah.
God.
The guy who voiced the main dude from Uncharted in the video game made a cameo in the movie. He's
Nathan Drake?
Yeah, Nathan Drake.
Good
The guy
shit.
who voiced him, Nolan North, I think is his name.
Yes.
He was in a beach chair. And Tom Holland passes him and he's like, "Hey man, you want a drink?" um, but yeah.
Question. Did you see it?
Yes,
Okay.
I saw Uncharted.
Is there product placement of Subway?
Not that I can remember. Why.
No. Okay. There's this whole like advertising campaign for both Uncharted and Subway where it was like Nathan Drake doing shit and then he'd like pull out a thing like a cup from Subway and like take a sip and be like, "Oh, adventure" or something.
See, the Uncharted commercial that I remember is the one for the car wash, where he I think it's for Chevron, like he pulls up to the gas station and he goes into the convenience store to get something, and the guy's cleaning out his car, and you see he holds up like a gold bar, and then he like pulls out like a live snake, and then Tom Holland comes back out and
Nice.
drives away in the car. That's the commercial I remember for Uncharted.
I one of the ads for the games had that.
Oh, for the
Not
game.
the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Subway. I'm sure it's in there if you look, but
Maybe.
I don't remember seeing one.
Damn it, I have to watch
yeah.
it now.
Prey came out this year too.
Okay.
It's the Predator movie. I thought that was a really good. It's a really good Predator movie, and I think it's been a while since we've seen a really good Predator movie.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good. They shot it twice. They shot it once in English and once in Comanche, and I think it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is more along the lines of what I want to see from a Predator movie. I thought it was really just really good. Lightyear came out, that Buzz Lightyear spinoff.
Yep.
It opens with like the guy saying, "There was once a kid named Andy. He had a toy named Buzz Lightyear from a show. This is that show." And I thought it was all right. Chris Evans voices Buzz Lightyear. I thought it was all right. It's like on the higher end of good, I think. Not quite great, but it's on the higher end of good. National Treasure: The Age of History came out, which I'm still watching. It's not as good as the original National Treasure movies, but it is
That's a shame.
still interesting to watch.
I mean, those movies are so
Underrated.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing and absolutely cracked out of their minds.
Yeah.
Like
It's so ridiculous. It
so,
works.
Yeah, it's so out there and it's so stupid, but it's so good at the same time.
Yeah, because, I mean, you've heard people say before, like, that's so crazy it might just work. This is the definition of it's so crazy it might just work as a movie.
Yeah.
And it really does work, and I think it's really fun. Riley Poole from the National Treasure movies appears on the series.
Cool.
And for like one episode, and the whole show is based on the FBI agent from the movies, Sadusky. He dies, and he's like hiding a secret to a treasure because he was a stonemason. Yeah, it involves like Sacagawea and Elvis Presley and Graceland,
Oh my
a
gosh.
whole bunch of things. Yeah, The Ice Age: Adventures of Buck Wild came out.
And you hated
Terrible.
it.
I
Yep.
hated it. It was absolutely disgusting.
There's no Scrat. How could it be good?
Right, there's no Scrat. Like, how can you make an Ice Age movie without Scrat? That's like making a Terminator movie without Arnold Schwarzenegger, which they did,
Yeah.
and it was terrible.
Yeah.
The Cleaning Lady was a show that came out. It's
Heard
has
good.
Elodie Young. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they do with season 3. Blockbuster came out. It was a show that thought was kind of okay at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I did not enjoy it.
And then Netflix killed it.
Yep, and then Netflix
Again.
Again, they killed Blockbuster twice.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. The Endgame came out this year.
The Endgame?
Not an Avengers movie. This is a movie about an FBI agent who is investigating this criminal mastermind. She's in custody, and she has robbed 6 banks from inside of federal custody.
Oh.
So she's holding 6 banks hostage. And the plot is that the FBI agent has to figure out what her game is because she's not robbing the banks to rob banks and get money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bigger thing at play here. And that's what the FBI agent is trying to figure out. And it is such a good show. It was set up really well for a season 2. And then it got canceled.
Huh.
And I hate it because now I'm not going to get a conclusion to that show. And I really enjoyed it. It really just
That's why
did
shows
not.
when a show like has a season and they don't know if they're gonna get a second one, you have to have a solid ending and
Yeah.
like leave it open to be continued. But also, if you get canceled, just like let it be. Oh, speaking of canceling, actually, I can save that for later.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting because the husband of the FBI agent and the husband of the lady who's in federal custody are inmates together at the same prison.
Huh.
So it's really just this like very interesting, very dynamic plot, and I love it. Halloween Ends also came out this year, and hopefully Halloween actually ended this time because
Hopefully
that movie
they don't
was-
make another.
Hopefully they don't make another. I just don't think we need another.
Make
honestly.
new movies.
Right.
We don't need more of the same IP.
Right. Like, I loved the first Halloween. This Halloween was just not it. It was not. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis did fine with what she was given, but I feel like it doesn't need to be a thing anymore. Yeah. So, the Marvel stuff that came out this year, we had Moon Knight come out. I thought that was pretty good. Moon Knight.
I should watch that.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's on the higher end of good. Morbius came out.
Fucking Morbius.
Morbius, it's Morbin
Dude.
time, everybody.
It made a more $1 billion at the box office. It's a world record.
It was like the number 1 or most popular movie on Netflix for a stretch. Because it
For
went
real?
because it went to Netflix after it came out.
I can't believe, okay, it was in theaters, and then, people didn't go to it, and then they memed it, so they put it back in theaters thinking that it would be popular, and then nobody went again.
From what I saw
How
the
do you
movie,
make the same mistake twice?
it is very mid.
Yeah,
That movie is very mid.
I've heard it's, not egregious, but not good either.
Yes, it's just very weird. And also, I really just hated the end credit scene because it did not match with the rules of the Marvel Universe. Because
What was it?
so basically, the end credit scene flashes to the MCU during Spider-Man: No Way Home, where the purple sky is opening up.
Okay.
Right? Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, gets transported from the MCU to the SPCMU, which is
SPCMU?
Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel characters.
Huh. That's a new acronym.
Yeah. So that's like the Morbius, Venom, Kraven the Hunter universe.
Oh.
So he gets transported there, right? And
Fun.
he gets let out of prison because the people in that universe have no idea why he's in prison in the first place.
Okay.
So he gets let out of prison. He gets his Vulture suit back. He flies over to Morbius and he goes, I guess we both hate Spider-Man. Maybe we should go and kill him. I'm not
the
even
fuck?
joking. That's almost verbatim what they say. And
Wait, why does Morbius hate Spider-Man?
I don't know.
How did he get his suit there?
I don't know.
If he was Oh.
I don't know because his suit isn't transported.
Oh my god.
I
why?
don't know. And
I guess we
really
both
hated
hate
the end credit scene
Spider-Man.
because it didn't follow the rules at all. Like after Doctor Strange closed the purple sky, everything returned back to normal.
Yeah.
and there was no evidence that people from
And
the
there's-
Marvel universe or the MCU got transported to other universes. There's no evidence.
And
of
when
that.
Venom came over,
He got transported back too.
he got transported back.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
it's crazy. Yeah, I didn't like that.
And then there's like the fact that Vulture, he was like in prison and he chose not to rat out Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so they're clearly building him up for the future. Why would they do that?
That's a very good question that I do not have the answer to, and I would also like answer that question. Sony executives, if you're listening, answer my question. But yeah, so
I remember hearing a theory that like him and Kingpin were gonna work together or something.
that would work if Adrian was still in the MCU, which he's not.
Yeah,
It's
he's a quantum clone.
gosh, I did not like it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, Legends also came out from Marvel. It's a clip show of like the history of a character before a new project comes out. So like before Doctor Strange, they did a Doctor Strange, a Wong, and a Scarlet Witch Legends episode that recapped the history of each character. I think a lot of people were disappointed with this, but I don't know what they were expecting. But this is about what I expected, and I really like the idea that it kind of just gives you a mini recap that you can watch on Disney Plus before you go see a new thing.
I mean, okay, I guess that's addressing an issue with the MCU, which is that if you want to get into it, you have to watch
Yeah.
like 15 years of movies.
Yeah, I think this sort of helps with that. Especially if a character you're watching in a thing has been in another project that you either didn't see or didn't want to see. You can just watch the Legends episode that recaps the entire thing for you.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
The one problem that they had with Legends this year was that they released the Mantis and Drax Legends episode for the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
But it spoiled it.
It spoiled the holiday special.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so they took it off like almost immediately. It's back up now,
They were
so I
like,
can see
"Oh
it."
fuck,
Yeah.
we forgot that we did that."
Yep. It's back up now, so you can watch it if you want, but I think it's a pretty good idea that they should keep around.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness came out this year. I thought that was a pretty fun movie. It was on the higher end of okay.
I thought it was bad, kind of.
I thought it
I'd
was
say on the
higher
lower
of
end of
Yeah.
okay.
Visual effects though, absolutely amazing. I loved it. I loved it, especially when they're like transporting to the different universes. I thought it was so good.
Her like teleporty universe thing, that was pretty good. There were some bits like with the third eye that were just
That I didn't
really
like.
not
Yeah,
good.
that I can agree on. It did not look good.
There were also some like writing and characterization issues that I have
Yeah.
beef with because I'm a
That's
writer
fair.
and I'm like, why
That's
can't
fair.
you do better than that?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Assembled came out this year too. Assembled is the the making of whatever Marvel project just came out. I think that's really interesting to see because I really am interested in the production behind it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
They always touch on like the acting and the writing and the movies and the music and the costume design, the prop design and the filming locations. I think all of that stuff is really interesting.
Yeah,
So
the actual like production and work that goes into
Yeah.
a movie should be highlighted and should be given more honor.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed all that stuff. Miss Marvel came out this year. I thought that was maybe the best Marvel show that came out this year. It was I really enjoyed it. I thought Kamala Khan was great. I thought Iman Vellani, who played Kamala Khan, was great. I thought the cast was great. The one issue I had with that show was there was one episode that I felt like was very unnecessary and very filler. But other than that, I thought it was a great show. I Am Groot came out. It's a series of like animated shorts about Groot.
I would watch that. I love Groot.
Yeah,
dude.
they're just like there's five episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Each one is like 4 to 6 minutes long, and it's just Groot getting into shenanigans, which is I want more of that. They've already
Absolutely.
confirmed to season 2.
Yeah.
I just want more Groot. Like it's very fun to just see Groot getting up to all these shenanigans. So I really enjoyed that.
He was always the heart of the five-man band
He
that
was, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And it's not tying into like any other projects. It's not trying to set up anything. It's just Groot being Groot for like 5 or 6 minutes. And it's amazing.
I can really appreciate that.
Yep. We also got Thor Love and Thunder that came out this year.
Top tier. Top tier. Loved
Really?
it.
I thought it was on the high end of good. I didn't think it was great because I felt like there were too many jokes.
Maybe.
And I felt like it went away from like Thor being this like Viking to being a bumbling idiot, which I found fine in some instances because that's how he is in the Marvel comics. He's just a
Yeah.
drunk idiot. Or in the actual mythology, he's just a drunk idiot. But you know, I'd like to see more of this like stoic kind of Viking Thor, and I feel like Taika Waititi could have done a better job of balancing the two sides because he did a really good job with that in Ragnarok.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I definitely think that this sort of thing kind of started in Ragnarok.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It did.
And then he was like, you know, fat and playing Fortnite or whatever
Yeah.
in Infinity War and Endgame and whatever.
Yeah, I appreciated Christian Bale as Gore. I thought that was really amazing.
Oh.
He did a really great job.
Absolutely. He blew it out of the water. I know that they changed the design of him. But personally, I think the new design is amazing, and
Yep.
I really like his story.
Yeah,
I like that
it
they
too.
made Korg gay.
Yeah, well, yes. In the comics, Krail.
Krail? Krail?
Cronins. I don't know why I said Krail. Cronins are an all male race in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
In Ragnarok, Korg said he had a mother, which everybody thought was weird because Cronins are all males. So they
Could have
retconned
been an
that.
adoptive mother.
They
Like-
retconned that. All Cronins are males,
Or dudes.
are dudes.
And they hold hands and
over
make
a
babies.
lava pit.
Top tier.
We also got a Dwayne the Rock. His name was Dwayne.
Right, yeah, Dwayne. Oh my gosh.
His name was Dwayne, and he's made of rocks. I thought that
Yep. Yeah.
it was a fun little inside joke. But the soundtrack for that movie was obviously really great too. Sif was back, which I appreciated. We also got She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, that came out.
I've heard it was good.
It was all right. There are some aspects I really liked, some aspects I really didn't like. But overall, I thought it was pretty okay. A lot of mediocre Marvel projects. But Marvel has since stated that they are now focusing on quality over quantity.
Good.
Yes, good. And Kevin Feige is like, all right, we hear your concerns.
Yeah, the
We're gonna
last couple
focus
of years, it's
yeah.
definitely been quantity. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are sick of it.
Now that Phase 4 has ended with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, I feel like Phase 4 is the worst of the 4 phases.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what the phases are.
Phase 1 is from Iron Man to the Avengers.
Okay.
Phase 2 is from Iron Man 3 to Ant-Man.
Okay.
And Phase 3 is from Captain America Civil War to Spider-Man Far From Home.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then Phase 4 is from WandaVision to the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's the worst of the 4 phases, but yeah. We also got Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which I absolutely loved.
Good stuff. Saw it together.
Yeah. I loved Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
We should do that more.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. I thought it was really good. I loved the arc of Shuri, and I loved Angela Bassett, who, by the way, won Best Supporting Actress in the Golden Globes,
Nice.
the Critics' Choice Award,
Nice.
and the BAFTA.
Nice.
So, 3 separate award ceremonies she won Best Supporting Actress.
Well, yeah,
which
she-
she completely deserved.
Yeah, she knocked it out of the park.
She was probably my favorite actress in that movie. Yeah, and then finally we had the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special that came out.
Very sweet.
I thought it was very good.
stupid. I loved it.
Yep, I loved the songs. It took me a while to figure out what the
so goofy and
you know what the leader of the band is. Peter Quill says his name, the leader of the band. His
Who?
name is Beezer Mikatakalak.
Beezer Mikatakalak.
Beezer Mikatakalak.
Beezer Mikatakalak.
Beezer Mikatakalak.
I don't get it. What's the funny?
It's just a weird name.
Oh, that's...
It's like a weird alien name.
I thought it was a joke.
No.
Okay.
No. It's just like this crazy weird alien name that you wouldn't expect from like anything.
I mean,
I really appreciate that.
I expect weird alien names from anything that has aliens in it.
Yep. Yeah. So for Star Wars projects, we had 3 that came out this year. There was Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I thought was fine. You didn't like it.
I think it could have been a lot better.
Yep. Andor came out,
Top
which
tier.
I also agree is top tier Star Wars. And then Tales of the Jedi, which was that 6-part animated series that 3 episodes on Ahsoka, 3 episodes on young Count Dooku. And I thought that was really amazing.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's got like... I think it's really good. The one thing I would say about that show is that the first episode is about baby Ahsoka. It is unnecessary and uninteresting.
Yeah, because we already have Ahsoka's backstory from the Clone Wars, right?
Right,
We don't need baby Ahsoka's backstory.
Right. And I'm sitting there for like 12 minutes thinking, is something going to happen? And something does happen, but it's really not that interesting.
Yeah.
So that was what I thought of Tales of the Jedi. Because I saw that with my girlfriend, and we both agreed that like the first episode is just not it. For DC, we had 6 projects. The Batman.
Woo!
The Batman was really good. I remember going to see that. I remember thinking, is this a 3-hour movie? I got out and I was like, this was a really good 3-hour movie.
Yeah. I loved the Batman so much that I put together a cosplay of the Riddler.
Oh, wow.
And I went
really?
to Comic-Con as the Riddler.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
it is a good movie, and I can't wait to see more of the Robert Pattinson Batman. Peacemaker came out this year, that show with John Cena, spin-off of The Suicide Squad. I heard it was really good. I didn't see it.
yeah, me too.
DC League of Super Pets came out. It's that animated show with, like, Bark Kent.
Yeah, Why?
It's a movie that exists. I never saw it. Apparently it was fine.
Isn't Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it and Kevin Hart?
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson voices Bark Kent.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart voices the dog version of Batman.
Yeah.
So it's fine, but it's not... I haven't seen it. Apparently I've heard that it's just fine. We also got The Sandman, which was a show on Netflix.
Okay.
I think it's like a dream kind of DC character. I don't know. I haven't seen The Sandman. I don't know much about The Sandman.
I'm not sure. All I know is my dad loved it. That's all
Yeah.
I know because he watched it and he was telling me,
Okay,
"Oh my
yeah.
god, it's so good! You have to watch it." And I said, "Okay," and then I didn't.
Yeah. Black Adam came out,
Okay.
which I also heard was very mid.
I heard it was mid. Yeah.
Apparently, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Ezra Miller, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, all out.
They're all nixed from
Yep,
the DCU.
all nixed from the DCEU, which apparently doesn't exist more. It's been changed to the DCU.
The DCU. Yeah.
James Gunn has called it the DCU. Apparently, Jason Momoa is not playing Aquaman anymore, but he's sticking around.
What's he gonna be then?
The rumors I have heard is he's going to be playing Lobo.
Lobo.
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's kind of like this Hulk character that with guns.
Hulk character with guns.
He can say full sentences though. And he can,
You
like-
already have my attention.
I think that's Lobo. I'm not super familiar with Lobo, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, and then the last thing was an animated show called Catwoman Hunted, which was on Amazon Prime. DC animated stuff tends to be pretty good. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so that existed. And that is the end of 2022. So moving on to 2023, a preview. Have you come up with like a most anticipated like movie or show?
I'm excited for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know this about me. I'm a big fan of like nuclear power and nuclear stuff in general, and so this sort of story of Oppenheimer and the development of the nuclear bomb is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
and I'm sort of like distantly, tangentially related to someone who worked on the Manhattan Project.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He wasn't in charge of like the actual science. He was in charge of, like getting uranium out of the ground. He
Yeah.
was like a mining specialist or whatever the fuck. So I have that. I'm really interested in it in general. Because practical nuclear explosion.
Yep. Yep.
I think it would have been so great if they actually let him just use a real nuke.
Yeah.
How funny would it be? Like, hey, can I have a nuclear device for my movie?
That would be so funny.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, my most anticipated movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But if it's not Marvel, then my most anticipated movie would be Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Because I really am just a big
Yes!
fan of the Indiana Jones movies.
We watched previews of that
Yep,
last
the
episode,
trailer.
I think. And it looks fun. It looks neat. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Yeah. And then my most anticipated TV series is Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion just seems like such a good premise for a show, and I really hope that Marvel doesn't mess it up. But it, like, I mean, you got Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, Don Cheadle as War Machine,
Yes.
Martin Friedman as Everett Ross,
Mm-hmm.
Emilia Clarke as Abigail Brand. You can't do any worse than that, I think, and
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. But if it's not Marvel, my most anticipated show of this year would be Hunter Season 2, which has premiered. I've seen the first episode. Hunters is about a group of people who are hunting Nazis after Operation Paperclip, which brought Nazi scientists over.
So they're hunting down Nazi scientists in
Who
the
have
U.S.?
That is Season 1. With
Oh.
Season 2, they have moved to South America to try and hunt the top Nazi, Adolf Hitler,
Okay.
who has, in the show, survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're hunting Adolf Hitler.
There's conspiracy theories that he survived.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell is true anymore.
yeah. Well, I am excited to watch the rest of the show. The first episode I thought was pretty good.
Anything involving killing Nazis and fascists has my vote.
Yep. So let's see. Yeah, so some stuff coming out this year. Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. We have Dune Part 2.
Yes.
Which is coming out later this year.
Let's go. Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya.
Yep. Timothy
Looking
Chalamet,
forward.
Zendaya. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Why do they keep making Transformers movies?
I will probably see this movie since it's not directed by Michael Bay.
It's not?
It's not. Michael Bay is not directing this movie, so I think that it could be good.
Could be. Hope it's good.
Scream 6.
I have a friend who really loves Scream,
Yeah.
so he's probably going to make me watch it.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie
Oh my god.
with Chris Pratt that doesn't sound Italian.
Have you seen the clip of him saying the word Koopas?
No.
He says it like a slur. He's like, Koopas.
Jeez.
Like, there's genuine malice in his voice.
Yeah,
It conditioned him to hate Koopas.
Apparently, I've heard Jack Black sounds really good as Bowser.
Yeah, in the few clips that we've seen, he's great.
Yeah.
But they got Bowser to look like Jack Black somehow. Like,
Really?
you look at Bowser and you look at a picture of Jack Black and you're like, yeah, it fits.
Wow.
I love Jack Black.
Yeah, so also Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yep.
It's coming out. New Indiana Jones movie I love. The Expendables 4, which I've been waiting so long for, is coming out in November, I think.
Okay.
And I have...
That's like secret agent stuff, right?
Yeah, so the Expendables is this group of team that works for the military. They're called the Expendables. The government sends them in to do things that they don't want to have associated with them.
Gotcha.
They send them in because if they die, they're quote-unquote expendable.
Yeah.
So that's why they're called the Expendables. So the first 3 movies I thought are really good. My favorite one is the second one. It's got Chuck Norris. But I can't wait to see this one. So, yeah. There's a horror movie coming out also called Winnie the
Clue.
Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's about a killer Winnie the Pooh.
Right, because Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain now.
Yeah.
The one that's not wearing the red shirt.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's a horror movie about an evil Winnie the Pooh.
I'm 100% going to see that.
It just sounds like a
gosh.
funny concept. I'll probably see it too.
It's going to be great.
The Little Mermaid is coming out, the live action one. An animated show called Elemental is coming out.
Okay.
Barbie, of course.
I think I remember seeing stuff about Elemental.
Yeah, there was a trailer for it that was like this, like, of course the very the sexy kind of woman in that movie is of course the fire.
Yeah.
Because she's quote unquote hot. So she's walking through. The one I saw was her walking through a train, and there's like a guy who's like made of water. But yeah, that's Elemental. I think it's a Pixar thing. I think.
It's like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, like Shark Boy and Love Girl.
Or Fire Boy and Water Girl. You ever play that game?
I haven't.
Oh, man. It's not good.
We also have Barbie coming out this year. Which
Hyped. Let's
not
go.
hyped. I am extremely not hyped.
Barbie!
Oppenheimer, of course, is also coming out this year. Fast 10.
Yes.
Fast 10 is coming out.
When are they going to stop making those movies?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think they are.
We got The Meg 2, The Trench.
Oh, gosh.
That movie about the megalodon. Which I think
Finally.
I like more than most people. I'm a sucker for a shark movie. So,
Sharks aren't bad.
yeah, I know sharks
Like,
aren't bad.
Great whites are innocent. They've been completely demonized by the media.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg has said he regrets making Jaws.
Good.
Because of that. Because it gave sharks such a bad name. But yeah, so John Wick Chapter 4.
Hyped.
Also coming
Genuinely
out.
hyped.
Yep. The Boys Season 4 is coming
Oh
out.
my god, I need to finish The Boys.
Yeah, I need to finish The Boys too. We have a reunion of the show Frasier, the sitcom Frasier, coming out.
Okay.
That's a show starring Kelsey Grammer that was a spin-off of the show Cheers.
I remember my mom really
Back in
liking
the day.
Frasier.
Yeah, it's a good show. I really like it. The Witcher is having a new season this year. Henry Cavill is officially done. with The
Yeah,
Witcher.
he's moving on to Warhammer with Amazon, right? I'm hyped about that.
And Hunter Season 2 is also coming out this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so for Marvel projects, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania releasing in February.
Gonna be great.
We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out this year.
Looking forward.
Secret Invasion coming out this year with Nick Fury. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1
Ooh.
coming out this year. So we saw that trailer.
Yes.
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld, Oscar Isaac. I forgot who voices Miles. But yeah, so that should be good. And if it's anything like the first one, it's going to be really good.
Yeah. I hope they bring in more spider people.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
There are
The
a couple
Marvels.
that I would really like to see.
Yeah. The Marvels is coming out this year too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crossover movie of Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and Spectrum, Monica Rambeau.
Gotcha.
So it's a crossover series from Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and WandaVision.
That's gonna be a lot.
And of course, at the end of Miss Marvel switches places with Captain Marvel, and it's really weird. So I guess we'll see the correlation of that. We have Kraven the Hunter coming out from Sony.
Okay.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing Kraven.
Craven?
Yep. Sergei Kravenov, Kraven the Hunter. He's a Spider-Man villain.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
like the guy with like the leopard print coat. It's like a leopard coat. He's
Not ringing a bell. I'm sorry.
he's basically a Spider-Man villain that likes to hunt animals.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's gone after Spider-Man a few times in the comics. That's actually what the comic run Kraven's Last Hunt is based on. It's about him trying to kill Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so Kraven the Hunter's coming out. What If Season 2 is coming
All
out.
right.
We have Loki Season 2 is coming out.
I'm interested to see where that goes, given the ending of the
Me too.
first one.
Yeah. Ironheart Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hyped.
that show for Dominic Thorne. X-Men 97, a continuation of the X-Men animated series.
Okay.
So that's coming out this year. Echo Season 1, based off of Maya Lopez from Hawkeye.
Okay.
So that should be Alaqua Cox as Maya Lopez Echo, Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk Kingpin, and Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock Daredevil.
Let's go.
Is all going to be in that. Yep. Agatha Coven of Chaos Season 1, which sees Catherine Hahn return as Agatha Harkness. There's a Stan Lee documentary coming out about Stan Lee's life and, his history and all that, which I am going to watch when it comes out because I loved Stan Lee and I am kind of sad that I never got to meet him in real life.
Yeah, he definitely deserves the recognition.
Yep. Spider-Man 2, the video game. So the PS5 video game Spider-Man 2 is coming out. And Niantic, the video game company, the same company that made Pokemon Go.
And Ingress.
Which
I play.
has teamed up with Marvel to release World of Heroes, which is coming out this year.
I'm not going to play it.
I might download it just to see what it is, but it's a mobile game.
I'll check it out.
It's a Pokemon Go-esque, Ingress-esque game where you walk around and you find different Marvel things. Which
I will. Okay. I'm really into Ingress. I kind of own PLU when it comes to Ingress. I will play it, the Marvel thing when it comes out. I will play it, and I will review it on here, and I will probably give it a scathing review because nothing compares to Ingress. It's the best. You can't beat it. I'm terribly biased. I've been playing it since I was a kid.
Yeah. So, for Star Wars, we got 2 new projects. We got the Bad Batch Season 2, which is already started coming out. There's 4 episodes out right now.
I've heard great things about it so
It
far.
is really good.
People are kinda liking
I've
it.
seen the episodes. They're really good. I like the Bad Batch.
See Clone Wars.
Yep. I like the Bad Batch. I like Crosshair. Commander Cody is back. I love Omega. This show is great, and I love it. And then The Mandalorian Season 3 on March 1st.
Hyped.
Which I am also hyped for.
I have to catch up
cannot
on
wait to see it.
Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and yada 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 and everything.
Yep.
Ah!
Yeah, so I can't wait for the Star Wars stuff this year. For DC, we got Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Okay.
So Shazam 2, which apparently Dwayne Johnson was offered a cameo in that movie as Black Adam, but he denied it.
I mean, I get it. Like, you did a movie and then they immediately kicked you out of the whole thing,
Yeah.
and then they say, hey, you want to come in for a cameo?
Well, no, this was before they kicked him out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
Maybe
also
that's
got,
why they kicked him out.
we also got Shazam and the or not Shazam, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
All right.
So that is Jason Momoa's Aquaman, the second Aquaman movie.
It's the last thing he's
They've
doing is Aquaman?
recasted. Yep, they've
'cause he's gonna
recasted
be the
Amber
new
Heard.
guy. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
they've recasted Amber Heard with Emilia Clarke.
Fuck Amber Heard. All
Yep.
my homies hate Amber Heard.
Yeah, everybody hates Amber Heard. Amber Heard
Can't
is
do
just-
that to my boy Johnny.
Yep. The Flash season 9. So I think that's the final season of the Flash show.
God.
That's coming out.
I've heard that the Flash show starts really good and then just slowly gets worse and worse.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. We also have the Penguin show coming out. It's
Okay.
Penguin season 1.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yep, which will tie into the Batman 2. We have the Flash, the movie, coming out. The Ezra Miller one, which is the last Ezra Miller project from DC.
Do you remember the name of the guy who played the Riddler?
No.
Okay. I know that he's writing a comic of the Riddler.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's coming out soon. So I'm super looking forward to that because I love him.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Riddler. I've seen a lot of people who were like kind of disappointed that we didn't get the question mark suit with the question mark cane and the glasses.
Yeah, but that looks stupid, you know?
Yeah, I think this like design of the Riddler looked better.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
I knew his last name was Dano, but I couldn't think of his first name.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's penning a like actual Riddler comic.
Yeah.
It's called Riddler Year One. So I'm super hyped for that.
Yeah. So yeah, we also have so the last Ezra Miller movie, The Flash. We also have Blue Beetle is the final project coming out. So Blue Beetle there's not much known about that. There was just a poster released.
All I know about Blue Beetle is that he's in Injustice.
Yeah.
And Injustice 2.
Yep. So Blue Beetle is the final DC project, which means there are 6 DC projects coming out in
Sweet.
2023. So I think that brings us to the end of the preview of 2023. I am excited, and I can't wait to see what we get.
Yeah, me too.
2023. Yeah. So we can move on to our last segment, the watch list, which I have watched a few things over the last bit. I've continued to watch Blue Bloods, which is a show that I really like. It's a cop show.
Sorry, I'm trying to read it from over here.
No, it's all good. I watched, of course, it was Christmas time, so I watched a whole bunch of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Elf, Home Alone 2, and No Christmas is Complete Without the Polar Express.
Of course.
I love the Polar Express. It is my favorite Christmas movie. My favorite Christmas movie. I love
You
the Polar
can
Express.
deal with the animation style?
I actually really like the animation style. I know. I've gotten that look from a lot of people when
You're human.
I've gotten that look from a lot of people when I have brought up the fact that I like to watch. The Polar Express. I just think it's really good. Believe is my favorite Christmas song, and I love the Hot Chocolate song.
The only thing I know
So
about
good.
Polar Express is that they drift a train on a sheet of ice.
They do, and it's amazing.
That's all I know.
Tom Hanks is also a god for voicing almost all the characters in this movie.
Yeah, I heard that he did that.
Yeah, this is also something I noticed this time around watching The Polar Express. There is, besides Santa Claus, there is one named character in this movie.
No one else has a name?
No.
What the heck?
Billy.
Billy.
Billy is the one kid who is named. He's like that kind of poor kid that they pick up. He's like the second stop. Because the main character is just named Hero Boy, Hero Girl, Conductor. They're not actually named, which I find really interesting. And what I found really interesting about the
like
fact
Tenet,
that Billy
that's
is the only named character, I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but Billy is kind of this kid who comes from a really, really small house. You see he's wearing raggedy clothing. He's got like these giant rain boots on because those are the only shoes he has. What I found really interesting was that they name the only character that most people would overlook. If you passed him on the street, you wouldn't really think about anything of him. But it reminds us that even the poorest of us have names and have lives and have feelings.
That's clever.
Yeah, and I thought that, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but if it was intentional, good on them for writing it that way because it really works, I think. But yeah, so I also watched a horror movie, Smile. That was like a really sharp change in topic. I watched Smile.
Was it good?
I actually thought it was really good. Yeah. I think there's an opening for season 2 because at the end it's implied that she beats the monster, but then you find out that she actually hasn't.
Ooh.
So
Twist.
the kind of curse that's happening is still going on. So there's definitely an opening for season 2. They haven't confirmed a not season 2. They haven't confirmed a sequel, but there's definitely an opening for a sequel. I watched Avatar: The Way of Water. I would definitely recommend that to anybody who's remotely interested in Avatar. Go see that movie. I think it's amazing. Better than the first. Really good message about family. I also rewatched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, so Spider-Man,
Okay.
Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3. I watched a couple episodes of The Rookie with my mom. That's a show I'll probably watch eventually.
It's a cop show, right?
Yeah, it's a cop show. It's got Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Nathan Fillion's Canadian, which I didn't know because I was watching The Rookie in Canada.
Nathan Fillion is also in Firefly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
That's who we were talking about earlier.
That's Nathan Fillion. Yeah, Nathan
Okay.
Fillion. Yeah.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. I rewatched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I
Mm-hmm.
love Indiana Jones. So good. I also played the Lego Indiana Jones video games with my brother when I went up. So we played Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures. Great game.
Absolutely.
And Lego Indiana Jones 2, the adventure continues. Absolute trash of a Lego game. Me and my brother both agree that it is the worst Lego game ever made, and we both hate it. But we're trying to get to 100% on it right now, so we're pretty close.
Understandable.
Yeah. I watched a movie with my girlfriend called The Double. It's kind of like it's just a generic like spy movie, and like the main CIA guy is actually the killer, and his partner is trying to find out who the killer is, and he's like going in different directions and stuff like that. I rewatched the first National Treasure movie. I was watching National Treasure: The Edge of History, which is currently coming out. It's all right, and finally, last thing I watched was the 4 episodes of The Bad Batch.
Gotcha.
Which I think is really good, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season is going to come up with. Yeah. What about you?
I haven't watched much, but one thing that I've been rewatching actually is season 1 of Altered Carbon. It's a show adaptation on Netflix of a book series. Really great. It's sort of like dystopian sci-fi. This guy is like he was like a sort of freedom fighter kind of terrorist guy, and he was basically imprisoned for 250 years, and then he was put in a new body, and now he has to solve the murder of like someone that he was fighting against 250 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Really clever. There's lots of fun stuff. Edgar Allan Poe is a sentient hotel. Yeah, lots of really great performances. Absolutely knocks it out of the park.
Okay.
Altered
Interesting.
Carbon on Netflix. Watch it. You owe it to yourself.
Cool.
Season 1 is great. Season 2, compared to Season 1, is not great, but Season 2 is still good because Season 1 completely blows everything else out of the water.
Nice. Anything else?
I don't really watch that much stuff, so no.
All right. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Bluey,
Oh.
the animated kids show about dogs.
Oh. Interesting.
It's really sweet.
Nice.
If you have kids, watch Bluey with them.
I keep seeing ads for like Blue's Clues Big Adventure.
Oh,
I loved Blue's Clues when I was a kid.
my sister loved Blue's Clues. I never really liked it that much.
I'm a big fan of the old Blue's Clues. The original Blue's Clues.
she liked old Blue's Clues.
Yeah, it's that way with a lot of kids shows. Like I'm a huge fan of the original Thomas the Tank Engine, the stop motion kind of like clay animated thing where you got like the eyes spinning around and
Yeah.
no one's actually talking. It's just figures.
Yeah.
It's like standing and yeah. I just really appreciate that stop motion.
You're
kind
like
of
Lemon
animated
from
thing.
Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bullet Train?
I have seen Bullet Train.
Okay, great.
It's
you
Bullet
get
Train
the
is an
reference.
amazing movie. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so
Oh
good.
my
I was actually
gosh.
thinking about buying the book to read because it's based off of a
It's
book.
based on a book?
It is based on a book.
Dude.
So I was thinking about reading the book too.
I should get that book for my boyfriend.
Yeah, because man, I saw Bullet Train. It's Brad Pitt, Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock, Brian
So-
Tyree Henry, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, everyone is so great in it.
Yeah, it's really good, and I also find it kind of funny that Lemon and Tangerine have both been played by Marvel characters or
Yeah.
Marvel actors because Aaron Taylor Johnson was Quicksilver and
Mm-hmm.
Brian Tyree Henry was Phastos.
Yep.
Yep. So I find that kind of funny. But yeah, I will probably watch Bullet Train again at some point. It's on Netflix, so
Yes.
yeah. I think it was like Netflix top 10 last time I saw it on there.
Yeah, something like that. Because it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It deserves everything it gets. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I've
yeah.
seen.
Yeah, so I think that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yes.
If you want to give us a review on Spotify or YouTube or whatever you're listening on, that would be very much appreciated. If you're
love you.
on YouTube, smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button, like most YouTubers say.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Ring that notification bell. If you want to reach us at the show, you can reach us on Gmail, scriptsupervisorspod@gmail.com.
You should make a Twitter.
I have a Twitter.
Plug your Twitter.
Script Supervisors Pod on Twitter. Hashtag Script Supervisors on Twitter. Script Supervisors Pod on Instagram. Currently, the Instagram is down right now. There have been a couple of issues with the Instagram account getting taken over, so that should be up
Someone
soon.
took it over?
There were like, I opened the Instagram to post about the third episode, and there were a whole bunch of random pictures on my account of like something else that had like the same name with Script Supervisors. And I was like, okay, so the account's gone, and I'm going to make the account again. So it should be under the name Script Supervisors Pod.
You couldn't like change the password or anything?
I tried that. It didn't work.
Oh.
So,
God,
so yeah.
That sucks.
So Instagram, Script Supervisors Pod, hashtag Script Supervisors on Twitter, and scriptsupervisorspod@gmail.com if you want to write us a letter or send us electronic mail, which will open with our electronic letter opener.
That's. Do you mean a mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
The cursor.
The cursor.
Yeah, I'll like when I click on it, I'll like move the cursor across the screen like I'm opening a letter.
We need to work on our outros.
Yeah. So yeah, next month I think we're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
So we'll see that, and then we'll record the episode.